touching grass, touching water, and stop touching it. Welcome to the Unlimited Supply Podcast, your daily music business TLDR in your ear, powered by 30 years of been there, done that, and brought to you by Nodesk, helping music, technology, and finance companies navigate the music industry, and partnered with Digital Music News. It's June 16th, 2025. It's Monday, where we talk about what happened over the weekend and what's on deck for this week. I hope you had a good weekend and a lucky Friday the 13th. Coming out of Indie Week and Publishing Week, personally, I spent much of Friday and the weekend touching grass. Literally. There were hornets involved, but that's a long story for another time. But while I was touching grass on Friday morning, Sony Music's Rob Stringer was flexing for the investors. Over in Music Business Worldwide, Murray Stassen has an exhaustive rundown of what Rob wants investors to know about Sony Music. In the middle of flexing about the $2.5 billion Sony has dropped on content and technology deals over the past year, Rob hammered the theme of Sony Music not only being big, and in fact the market leader in high-growth markets like India and Latin America, but he also managed to throw some shade on what he calls, quote, periphery music and financial players. I suppose if you're a big bad major, you may as well lean into the part. And in the wake of the hypnosis implosion of 2024-2025, he's not wrong that having recorded music and publishing as a legacy core competency at scale is a pretty big advantage, even if the sheer size and weight of an aircraft carrier like Sony or Universal makes true innovation difficult. Anyway, I'm not going to walk through all 7 major points he made in the address. That's what Murray Stassen and Music Business Worldwide are for. If your plan for the weekend was to touch grass at Bonnaroo, and it almost was mine, you were probably touching water instead. That was some mighty wet grass, swamp grass maybe, and unfortunately folks didn't get to touch it for long. If it wasn't sad enough that one of Bonnaroo's original founders passed away recently, Bonnaroo was basically rained out this past weekend. Thursday headliner Luke Combs was the only headliner who appeared before organizers decided to call things off on Friday. Mud, rain, and discomfort have been part of the Bonnaroo experience for years, but apparently this was just too much, and the organizers made the tough call to send everyone home on Friday, disappointing fans who were expecting a fun weekend with a stacked lineup including Tyler, the Creator, Olivia Rodrigo, Hozier, Vampire Weekend, Glorilla, Tyla, Ray, Avril Lavigne, Queens of the Stone Age, John Summit, Justice, and more. When I heard that Bonnaroo was flooded out, my literal reaction was, well, that sucks. I went over to Reddit to see what attendees were experiencing and what to my wondering eyes should appear but an actual subreddit called r/WellThatSucks, literally, complete with pictures of flooded Bonnaroo campsites. Bonnaroo Redditors ran the gamut from resigned to angry. It's all a logistical nightmare for everyone involved. Let's hope it can get sorted out quickly and relatively amicably. What a mess. Meanwhile, strange things were afoot last week at the Green Circle. A bunch of artists of various sizes in various territories reported that their monthly listener counts on Spotify were disappearing. Over at Digital Music News, Dylan Smith reported that artists including the rapper Russ had seen their monthly listener counts disappear from their profiles or at least their main pages. Hey Spotify, don't take away listener counts. They may not matter in terms of royalty payouts, but they sure do make a difference to the artists and to the fans trying to gauge where an artist stands. Of course, it's not the first time and it won't be the last time that we catch Spotify playing with its UI. Unfortunately, it feels like most of these changes lately have not been for the better. Hey, Spotify, stop touching it. It'll grow, and you're risking giving yourself a UI infection. Getting back to Indie Week, last week we talked about Triple G Ventures partner, friend of the pod, and future axe grinder Gregg Stein's pitch contest at Indie Week, which pitted 3 carefully selected startups against each other. Drumroll please, the 2025 Indie Hustle winner is Tuttii, that's Tuttii, which is an AI-driven remix app. The runner-up was Vinally, a dating app based on musical preferences. Did somebody say mixtape? And in third place was Vocana, a social streaming platform with an artist-first bent. Congrats to all 3 for making the finals. Congrats to Tuttii for triumphing. I downloaded it, but I still haven't had a chance to try it. One nice little Indie Week wrap-up came from Dan Reese over in Billboard. He asked 84 indie execs, including old friends Annie Ortmeier of Triple Tigers, Nabil Ayers of Beggars, and our recent axe grinder Jorge Breu of Symphonic Distribution, what was moving the needle in 2025. Maybe the best question since who are you and why are you here? So among 84 execs, a lot of good advice and a lot of wasted opportunities to actually answer the question, side by side over there at Billboard. And another Indie Week roundup came from another future axe grinder, Richard James Burgess, the outgoing head of A2IM, as he reflected on the 10 years he's been heading up the organization. That's also over in Billboard. Looking at the week ahead, things are pretty light this week coming off of all the publishing conferences and Indie Week in NYC. The 25th anniversary UJA Music Visionary of the Year award celebration will likely have happened before you listen to this. Harvey Mason Jr. of Naris, that reminds me I need to join, and TV honcho Ben Winston are this year's honorees. If I were in town today, I'd have put out an open solicitation for a free seat at your table, you important person you, but I'm not, so it's FOMO for me. Also this week in NYC, it's Hot 97 Summer Jam Friday at the Rock out in Newark with A Boogie, Gunna, and Bonnaroo refugee Glorilla at the top of the bill. All in all, a good week to do follow-ups and celebrate Juneteenth. Support for the Unlimited Supply podcast is provided by RoyFi. If you're a label distributor or publisher and want to take advantage of other people's money and other people's technology to provide advances, let's sit down and talk. RoyFi offers the best rates and terms in the space, and it's mission-driven to give artists the independence they need. And by Hangout.fm, Hangout by Turntable Labs Inc. is the new social listening platform where users connect, discover new music, and play over 100 million songs with their friends and family. If you like what you hear, please hit that follow button wherever you get your pods. I live for your praise and encouragement, but it really helps if you share that praise as a rating and or a review on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, or Spotify, and please tell a friend or three. Links are in the show notes. You can also visit unlimitedsupplypod.com to sign up for our newsletter, to tell us what you think about the show, to suggest feature ideas, to feed us info, to feed us lunch, to call us out on our dubious assertions, and to tell us what we're missing out on. I'm Lars Murray, and remember, in this business, no conflict means no interest.